to go under $2 a mile. But sometimes you have to. But if you could...
Hey guys, what is up? Listening to the new Trucking AMA, how do you decide what rates to charge? Dat board just put out a video. It went live today. But anyway, I noticed something looking at the video. Let me get it back on so I can see myself here. And if you look, where's it at? Boop, 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 boop. Right there. Nope. Oh, nope, right there. Oh, here we go. That's a rarity. That there is rare. I didn't make my bed this morning. Today I delivered at a food bank down in Macon, and I was up and delivering right at 10 o'clock on the dot. I knew I was coming straight home, so I didn't make my bed. Shame on me, right? That's something that I don't normally do. But that's a rarity. You won't see that again. Maybe for a couple years. But anyways, guys, I'm going to touch on a trucker's series here, and it's called The Successful Owner Operator. If you hadn't checked out the first series, go right here. Go check it out. And then come back with this one right here. This is the second one that I've put out. And today I'm going to talk about preventive maintenance. It's one of the biggest issues we need to tackle as an owner operator. And preventive maintenance is, well, it's preventive expense is what I normally call it, because if you can catch something before something actually goes pop, it's normally going to save you a lot of money. And there's an old adage out there that says, you know, you don't touch it and don't fix it unless it's broken, which I would highly disagree a lot of things when it comes to trucking. I'm going to give you guys a brief example of some things I'm going to be replacing here soon, so I have to cut this video now before I replace them, so stay tuned. But for one, we're going to talk about oil. Oil is one of the biggest overlooked subjects in becoming or being an owner operator is oil. My mentor, the guy that taught me most of everything I know about diesel engines, is Roz. And Roz told me a long time ago, he said the most number one single thing you can do to your truck is keep your oil clean. That is it. Keep your oil clean. And in the near future, I'd like to add a bypass filter on my setup, just so I can, you know, the benefits of that. That's another video. But look into oil bypass systems. You can, let's see, the one that I'm leaning towards is the AMSOIL. And I got a quote, it's looking at right at $1,000 to have the whole kit and all the oil and the additives and the cleaning and all the stuff with the little dip spout, you know, kind of like a little coffee thing to get your samples from. I'm looking at right at about $1,000, so it's about $600 up from a normal oil change service PM. So yeah, it's a good idea. But I like that idea because every 20,000 miles or 30,000 miles, you pull an oil sample and send it to a lab. And what that means to me, every 20 to 30,000 miles, I'm going to have a health analysis of my oil and engine. It's kind of like sending your kid to the doctor for well checks. You always know what's going on. To me, that's just priceless. So that will be in the future videos. That will be a future addition to Ellie Mae here. But right now, we're just going to talk about oil. And one of the things that I noticed a lot, and let's go back to my first truck, the truck I had with my brother, which was a 2010 Cascadia DD15. And reading through the manual and stuff, it recommended oil changes at 50,000 miles. 50,000 miles. I mean, Jesus. Even then, I thought, this don't sound right. This don't sound normal. It sounds kind of, I don't know. 50,000 miles, that's a lot. I'm sure the oil is built to withstand that. That's one thing. Because, you know, like with the oil bypass system, you know, that oil, there's people that's got 500,000 miles on that oil. But that filtration system, that filter system, it keeps the oil clean, so therefore it will last that long. But given that the DD15's recommended oil change at 50,000 miles, I don't think they factor in all the iodine and all the contaminants that gets in the oil. Big thing being carbon, especially with the Cummins engines. They're bad about carbon packing, carbon buildup, carbon just packing around the rings. The number one contributor to that is dirty oil, contaminants. So if you want to lessen the carbon packing, carbon buildup on your engine, you need to change your oil out regularly. Now this is coming from my guy Roz. At the time, I think he's changed it since then, but at the time he told me at 18,000 miles, he starts looking for a place to get his oil changed. He said, you know, don't go over 20,000. He said, matter of fact, he's got a calculator he uses based on the miles per gallon your truck gets, based on the way you drive, on how many miles you should go. But Driven can touch on that. He's the one that told me that. I didn't get that from Roz because I guess that's before Roz came up with it. It's a good little direction to go. I've just leaned towards the 18,000 miles. Then I start looking for a speed coat, and that's when I like to change my oil, because I love to keep my oil clean. In doing so, I'm prolonging the lifespan of my engine and reducing carbon packing, carbon buildup, and all the contaminants that just go along with it. So until I get the oil bypass system put on, I'm going to remain doing it every 18,000 19,000 miles and get fresh oil in it. So that is one thing that I've noticed. A lot of people that I've talked to on the phone, I'm like, how often do you get your oil changed? And they're like, oh, it's been about 30,000 miles. I'm like, oh my God, dude, you need to change that oil. No shit. If you're that person that changes it every 30 or 40,000 miles, I recommend this highly. Change your oil right now, and then put about 10,000 miles on it. Change it again, another 10,000, and change again. Do that 3 or 4 times just to get all the contaminants that's built up in your engine. Try to get it flushed out. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. I might, you know, just be an overachiever there, but you know, I'm known to always be driving and not ever in the shop. But yeah, I'm home now, so I got some work to do on the truck, so I'm gonna take you along with me. But that's not in this video. This is something totally different. The next thing is preventive maintenance, and there's a lot of things that I would not recommend waiting for it to break until you replace it. I could go through a checklist, but I'm going to concentrate on 2 things, and I'm going to concentrate on coolant, and I'm going to concentrate on the reservoir. I'm going to concentrate on the pipes, the tubing, all of that stuff. Especially on the Cummins, they're real bad on the bottom radiator, the bottom pipe, the lower pipe. It rusts out. And I'm about to show you one. There's also one along the frame rail. It's real bad about rusting out. I'm gonna show you that one. And also on the top one, it rusts out as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and show you guys that. Show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Alright guys, let's show you what I'm going to replace here, and I'm not going to wait till it breaks. I'm going to replace it now. This right here, see how that's starting to rust and corrode? This is a common thing with these engines, with the Kenworths. You need to replace it. The next one, I mean, look at this, look at that. The next one is this one right here, which is covered in oil. I got an oil leak I'm going to fix, but it looked the same. If you can see right up in here, it's real bad. The next one is right there. See that? And right there, the cooler reservoir right here. See how dirty it is? It needs to be nice and clean. This line right here. There's a couple different lines. So yeah, that's what we're about to be doing and replacing. I promise you, you don't want to wait till that puts you down on the side of the road. That's one of those things I will disagree about. When people say don't fix it until it's broken, or if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Let me just say this. That lower piece, I think about 150 bucks. The piece across the rail, I think it's about 150 bucks. Now the one on the top, that's $1,000. So I'm gonna take it to a powder coating company, and I'm gonna have them blast it, clean it, strip it, powder coat it, refresh it. Yeah, because I'm not spending $1,000 on that. That's with a huge discount. And yeah, my guy gives me good deals over at MHC. Hold on, let me give you something to drink here. It's getting hot in here. Turn the AC on so you guys wouldn't be interrupted by a vibration or a noisy truck. But yeah, those components, they're not that expensive to replace. The reservoir, I think I've got a price quote on that at $249. So I'm basically going to spend roughly, I don't know, $700-800, and I'm going to replace all that stuff. Whereas if that right there deteriorates and vibrates and falls apart while I'm on the side of the road and I have to be towed, you know what the tow bills could be. There's no telling. You know what the on-call mechanic's going to be. There's no telling. So something that I can replace for, say, $700, and I mean replace it all, maybe $800, and that's the reservoir and all of it, I'm going to replace it myself. Whereas if I was on the road and it broke down and I had a shop do that, now we're looking at possibly $3,000 or $4,000, including the tow. So yeah, I will argue with any about that, about the don't fix it until it's broken, because trust me, you can't afford to be fixing it on the side of the road when you can take precautions and fix it ahead of time when you know it's getting ready to give, or you know it's getting ready to fail. You guys see it, it's all rusted up. So I highly recommend preventive maintenance on issues like that, because $700, $800, $900 doing it ahead of time, it beats out thousands of dollars next week, every day of the week. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Successful Owner Operator series. And if you like what I did, give me a like, show me, let me know in the comments what you think. If you're not subscribed, give me a subscribe. Hit the bell, because I put these videos out on the regular. And guys, you got to think how to rise, and winners never quit, and quitters, well, they never win. See you, bye. If you can't do that and you got a W9, go back to a Volvo or Freightliner or whatever. And but I just factor in, or I just damn it. Oh.